Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ruby Game X. So I'm gonna be talking about Godzilla King of the Monsters. So recently I found out interesting information. So Mexico City actually paid legendary 10,000 pesos to be featured in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now this deal happened I believe since last year or a couple of months ago when they started to a film right here in Mexico City, actually in the what's it called? Damn, I cannot remember the name. I'm very bad with names. Like, I remember, then I forget. But let me try to remember. Okay, guys, I remember. It's actually in the Zocalo, and that's where a lot of the most historical buildings are, or the most historical things from the past are in that specific area, and that's where the main big buildings in Mexico City are. So it makes sense that Godzilla or King Ghidorah would be there, and cause destruction. Now, I actually did go over there for the shooting and all that, but I didn't film. Now, I do remember seeing a lot of police trucks, a lot of people running. I saw a half, what it seemed to be a half airplane destroyed, just like the back of the airplane, and I saw like the U.S. Army just coming out and doing testing. They had like a big fan where it was blowing a lot of air, and a lot of people were just running, panicking, and all that. But yeah, I couldn't record because for some reason my phone seems to die in 1 minute. Even though I charge it to 100%, it dies in 1 minute. So yeah, there goes my luck. Anyways, in this contract between Mexico and Legendary Pictures, or the people that made Godzilla King of the Monsters, they talk about how they want to promote Mexico City in a good way for the people that are viewing this movie. Obviously, people in the U.S., people in the Asian countries like Japan and all that, China. If they get to see Godzilla King of the Monsters over there in China. Now, in this deal, they wanted Legendary to show the beauty of Mexico, and they weren't allowed to show a bad image or a bad representation of Mexico. No destruction. The only destruction that they got down to the deal is only when monsters come. So you're not going to see the ugliest parts of Mexico or destruction. No, the only destruction that's going to be taking place is obviously caused by Rodan, Godzilla, or King Ghidorah, or even Mothra. That's the only destruction that Mexico City will have, and we obviously we got to see that in the trailer when you obviously see Rodan flying over the Zocalo. You get to see all the houses from the roofs just coming apart, like blowing apart and all that. And they also made a deal for the Volcano of Mexico to be featured, which is the biggest volcano of Mexico. It's called the Popocatépetl, and I know a lot of people are calling it something else, which isn't the original name. It's actually called the Popocatépetl, and there's actually a story. There's actually, oh, well, where I live, I can actually see the Popocatépetl and the sleeping lady. So there's a big story that goes way back to the past where there's a sleeping lady right next to the big volcano, and you can actually see like a figure of a sleeping lady. So supposedly she's our guardian. She guards Mexico, and someday she's going to awaken. So I can see why they got inspired by that. And instead of a lady coming out from the volcano, it's Rodan. So you see the connections that they have. So this myth or this demon god is actually the lady, but instead of being a lady, they took it to be Rodan. So that's very interesting. Now, like I told you, in this deal, there's going to be a lot of promotion going on in Mexico City. Now, for 2014, Mexico City didn't actually, or Mexico just in general, didn't really promote Godzilla 2014, even though we got to see it a week earlier. There was no toys, there was no merchandise, but with this deal, Mexico City will now have merchandise of Godzilla, like posters, cups, figures. So yeah, be on the lookout. If you're from Mexico City, you're definitely going to be seeing a lot of Godzilla stuff, thanks to the deal that Mexico did with Legendary Pictures, or whatever the company that is doing Godzilla King of the Monsters. And like I told you, the deal was made a few months ago, and they pay 10,000 pesos for them to be featured in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and a lot of other things. They talk about how with this it's going to help Mexico, and it's going to help like the movie, and it's the first time ever that Mexico gets featured in a Godzilla movie. Now I know it's kind of crazy for me because when I heard that they were going to film right here, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, wow, is that real? But yeah, it turns out that they actually came to Mexico thanks to a deal, and I'm not sure if other countries had the opportunity to buy the right or buy like the property for the directors to come here and film. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it just talks about how merchandise in Mexico is going to be promoted right here, and that expect a lot of destruction from monsters, but not any destruction that shows ugly images of Mexico and all that, which is fine. I mean, if you're going to show a city from the U.S. or any country, you might as well show the best parts, right? Like Dubai, they got the buildings from Fast and the Furious. They're obviously showing like the best parts, so it makes sense that Mexico City wants to give a good image to people, because I know a lot of people say Mexico is full of killers. Mexico has a bad image to the US. But let me just tell you guys that Mexico isn't what you guys think in the US, or a lot of people think of Mexico. And Mexico is actually very, very rich. Um it's very modern. It's not what a lot of people think, like with cowboys, you're in the desert. No, it's the opposite. A lot of Americans or people that come from all over the world, they actually love Mexico, and they come here to actually live, and they find a living right here. It's very beautiful what Mexico has to offer, and I'm sure that we're not going to be disappointed with the volcano and all that. Let me just say that the volcano is very, very big, and right next to the volcano there's actually the two more big ones. There is the sleeping lady, and right next to it there's another one. And when it gets very cold right here, it gets full of snow. So that's very interesting. I cannot wait what they do with Godzilla King of the Monsters. And in other news, there was a recent report talking about that recently Godzilla King of the Monsters did another test run, and from what people were saying, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. They're saying that it sucks, but then it's good. They're saying that the characters are sort of okay, and that there's so many new characters, and they're pretty much, they're it's pretty much like the same thing that they always say, that the CGI isn't finished, that expect a lot of action and all that. And they were just talking about Mothra, how Mothra looks very beautiful, her hair looks very realistic, and they didn't give much information, to be honest, guys. And I'm not expecting much information. I know there's a lot of people in a lot of YouTube channels talking about leaks and all that, but I will, me personally, I won't believe anything until I see the movie, because like I told you, there's still a lot of time for a lot of change. A good example of what could happen, or a good example, is just look at Godzilla 2014. When we got the first trailer, it was very dark, and we saw like a type of caterpillar monster that looked like Mothra, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh my God, that's Mothra larva dead on the floor," which turned out to be wrong. Even that monster was never featured on the movie. Obviously, Godzilla 2014 in the teaser trailer looked different to the final version. His spikes, the way he roars, the environment. I mean, obviously, that movie was taking place more during the daytime, or should I say, the trailer. And it turns out that the movie that we actually got to see, like the final product, was more nighttime. So yeah, definitely Godzilla received a lot of changes. The Mutos changed 100%. I know a lot of people were saying that Gigan confirmed, Rodan confirmed. So like I told you guys, it's very early on, and a lot of things could be just tests or designs for scrap, and maybe later on they just remove them. So even though people say that they got to see King Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan today, that really doesn't matter, because when it comes down to the final product, it's going to change. Just think about it as the game. When you develop a game and you obviously show a demo or whatever, you're not going to show like the full game. Obviously, you're just going to show parts of the game and what the game has to offer. So it's the same thing. Like, I know a lot of people have been talking about how King Ghidorah walks with his wings, how supposedly now a lot of people are saying that he walks with his wings, and others are saying that he actually stands up like in the traditional movie. So you can obviously see that there's a big contradiction right there, where people are saying he walks, other people are saying he stands up, other people are saying that Rodan looks to the classic one. Other people are saying that he looks different. So you can definitely see that there's a lot of lies, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting lied. Like I told you guys, what happened to the designs or the leaked designs? They turned out to be fake. Uh, a lot of people were claiming, yeah, look, I got pictures to the tickets. How is it? I mean, it's pretty easy to go to the computers or just print a ticket and put Godzilla 2014 and say that you got to see Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like I told you, nowadays technology is so advanced that you can trick anybody, you can fake anything and make it look so realistic. But I mean, that's on you guys. If you guys want to read or you guys want to spoil yourself with all those leaks and all that, by all means do it. But I'd rather just wait until I see the movie, because I know that the movie isn't going to be what we're getting today with the teaser trailers and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is Ruby Gaming X, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.